On this day in 1966, Willie O'Neill became Celtic's first ever substitute in a competitive match. There had been occasions in the past, going back to the turn of the 20th century, where Celtic had used substitutes in benefit and other friendly matches, but they were not allowed in competitive club matches in Scotland until season 1966-67. Willie O'Neill came on in the second half of a League Cup sectional match against St Mirren at Love Street in place of Jimmy Johnston. O'Neill was one of a number of players in the 60s who never held down a regular starting place for a sustained period of time, but was highly regarded enough to be retained for a decade and able to play and perform well on even the biggest occasions when required. He signed for Celtic from St Anthony's in 1959 and made his debut as a 20-year-old in the 1961 Scottish Cup final replay after Jim Kennedy was rushed to hospital with appendicitis. There was to be no fairy tale cup win for the youngster though, with Dunfermline keeper Eddie Conaghan in inspired form and Celtic hit by 2 breakaway goals to lose 2-0. Willie O'Neill found it difficult to establish himself in the first team, with Kennedy and Tommy Gemmell ahead of him in the queue for the left-back slot. He appeared only sporadically until season 1966-67, when Jim Craig missed out on the close-season American tour as he completed his dentistry studies at Glasgow University. O'Neill seized his chance and was an ever-present for the first half of that glorious season. He was a steady, solid and reliable defender and played in the 4-1 victory over Manchester United in August and 3 victories over Rangers, as well as all 4 matches in the first 2 rounds of the European Cup run to Lisbon. Ironically, the League Cup match against St Mirren was the only match he didn't start in this period, with Craig given a run out for the first time that season. Celtic had been on fire in the first few weeks, scoring 4 against Manchester United and Rangers, 6 against Clyde and 8 in the first League Cup match against St Mirren. But this time the goals weren't coming, despite Celtic's dominance. After Steve Chalmers had a goal disallowed for offside, the deadlock was broken when Jimmy Johnston made a run to the byline and cut the ball back for Bobby Murdoch to rifle home what proved to be the only goal of the game. Johnston had to leave the field after 65 minutes with a suspected concussion, and Tommy Gemmell went to the right wing, with O'Neill coming on at left back to seal a place in Celtic history. As befits a defender, Willie O'Neill is probably best known for his crucial goal line clearance in the 1966 League Cup final against Rangers. Leading 1-0 but under the cosh for most of the game, Celtic were hanging on grimly to that narrow lead. In the dying minutes, Alex Smith emerged from a goalmouth scramble with Simpson grounded behind him. The Rangers forward stumbled as he shot, and from nowhere, Willie O'Neill appeared to clear it from the line. He was pictured with the rest of the team in the dressing room afterwards, with the League Cup perched on his head. O'Neill didn't do anything wrong to lose his place to Jim Craig in the second half of the season. The problem was, he was a classic defensive fullback, while Jock Stein preferred his fullbacks to be almost auxiliary wingers on the overlap. Craig and Gemmell were both fast, powerful runners with the stamina to get up and down the pitch for 90 minutes, while O'Neill just wasn't suited to that style. He continued to be an able deputy at fullback and played in the second match against Racing Club for the World Club Championship in November 1967. He had another run in the team in 1968, but by the end of season 1968-69, he was allowed to leave for Carlisle. He played his last match for Celtic in a 2-1 league win over Dundee at Dens Park on the 1st of May 1969. He had a very successful 2 years at Carlisle before he was forced into retirement with an ankle injury. Willie O'Neill holds a unique distinction in Celtic's history and was a part of some of their greatest successes. He will be forever remembered as a Lisbon Lion and an unsung Celtic hero of the 1960s.